Okay, so I put in the Power Hour chat the graphic for tonight's event. And so let me give you guys a little bit of a picture of what it will look like. But I want to make sure that you are intentionally inviting people. If you post it on your Facebook wall, that's fine. But how do you know that the people that you would want to see it have seen it? You really have to be good at going out and personally inviting people. The problem with that is your energy when you invite them actually matters. Because if you're inviting them feeling awkward or, oh, I'm afraid they're going to say no, or if you invite them and you think they're going to be like, stop talking to me about this and block me, if that's what's going through your mind, I know for a fact you're going to get a no. Like, I just know it. But if you actually go with a higher energy and a belief that this is going to be so good, and you can actually picture them, I do this. I picture them like some people in the past that have said to me, I got on this one event, I heard this one girl's story, and once I heard it, I thought, okay, maybe I will try the products. And now look where I am. So I want you to imagine the person that you're inviting one day standing in front of a room of people at an opportunity event saying, I got on this event called Meet Plexus that my friend Tina invited me to, and I heard about blank. And it's because you were brave enough to invite them. So visualize that. So we're going to follow up with those invites today. Another thing that I want you guys to do is I want you to focus on the fact that people are going to be getting free active with their orders this month, with their 100 PV or welcome pack orders. How do you do that? I want you to think about a store that has an awesome sale and they're constantly focusing in on whatever that product is. Like, it's in everything. It's in all the graphics, all the commercials, it's in all the pictures, it's at the front of the store on a display case. Like, it is the star of the show. So what if you focused on as many active posts as you possibly could, and then finally someone says to you, well, I think I want to try that. And you could turn around and say to them, well, I could get it for you for free. If you want to buy this pack, you can get that active for free. This is a great way for you guys to get people coming and shopping. If they ultimately end up buying just a bag of active, it's not just a bag of active. I call it the gateway drug. So we're going to focus in on posting a lot about active. And then the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is, and I'm going to need some help here, some participation. I want to hear from each person that signed someone up in the last 7 days. The last person that you signed up, I want to hear how. Was it a post? Was it a message? Did they just reach out to you? I want to hear like the sequence of events. So if you have signed someone in the last 7 days, will you unmute and tell me the story?
I have a wild story.
I can't wait.
This wasn't 7 days ago, but it was Mother's Day, so maybe that counts. I actually walked past this woman in the grocery store at 3 minutes to 10, but just before it closed, and told her no. I told her no to 4 packages of Mother's Day cupcakes. And I said, I'm sorry, I would love to take your cupcakes for free, but sugar doesn't like me. I really like sugar, but sugar doesn't like me. And I've had to stop eating so much sugar because it really hurt me, my body. And she said, oh, you're kidding. We need to talk. At 6 minutes after 10, she was signed up on my website, and she has a Slim, Metaburn, and Active. And we have had the jolliest conversations over the last 2 weeks. I'm so excited. How crazy is that? Lord, if they could all be like that, please. Yeah.
And honestly, the energy behind it, I can just see you like looking at the cupcakes thinking, that's going to cause me so many problems and all the work that I've done to make my body the way that it is now. And someone's seeing that conviction in you. I mean, it's real. That is so insane. And did she sign up on your phone, or how does that work? Or you got her info?
No, she pulled her phone out of her pocket and said, where do I go? And I'm like, Plexus Worldwide, Lori Felton 4. Yeah, there you go. And here we go. I'll just scroll her right down, fill that out. Scroll her right over here, fill that out. Yeah, we'll skip this, skip that. That's what you need.
Did you not think you were being punked? Remember that show Punked?
Yes, no, no,
But
no.
wow. Okay.
It never occurred to me.
Lori,
I don't know.
you should have gone last because no one's going to try to follow that up.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
I
just
love
so
it.
excited.
I'm so impressed, like beyond impressed. And you have met a need for this woman that she probably didn't even know that she had. You should totally invite her to the Power Hour. She'll be like, why? And you can say, well, it's fun and it helps connect people that care about not eating sugar. So
There you go.
way to go. Anybody else want to share exactly how they got their last sign up?
My girlfriend was talking to a friend of hers, and then she referred the male friend to me. So referral is how I got mine.
And then two things. Did you say to your friend, why are you not signing them up yourself? And she was probably like, I don't want to sell it. What did she say when you said that to her?
It was so cute. She said, you come take care of my life and then I'll step into yours.
And then my second question for you is, tell me about working with helping a man match to products. Does anyone else find this to be tricky, or would you have any tips for us?
I actually have signed up 4 men in just the last like 5 weeks or so. Somehow there's a connection there with that. I'm not really sure why it's happening, but it is. I've done with local people that I've known all of my life are now reaching out. I think it's the consistency in my posting that they see results, and they're also looking for results, maybe in a sneaky way to their wife and friends, but it's working.
Is it about weight loss? What are they looking for?
I've had 2 on gut health, 1 on weight loss, and 1 was intrigued because of the clean energy drink, the active. It's just been phenomenal how it's happened. People who quit too early have no idea what they're doing.
Hey, I see a post right there when you just said that. Well, I'm inspired. I'm very inspired. And you're right. Consistency matters. And I love that you're opening up a market that isn't always easy to open. I see Tina has her hand raised, but I also know that Tina was on the leaderboard. When I saw her face, I was like, oh, like I completely flipped out. I was so proud of you. Tell us everything.
Thank you. So I started just getting out of my comfort zone and doing lives. I had a friend, sideline sister, say, hey, let's go live like every day. And I was like, no, I don't want to go live. And everybody always says, you're so good when you talk on team calls. You're so good when you do events. And why do you have a problem going live? And I'm like, I don't know, but I'll do it. I'll totally do it. So I started going live, and it just created like new conversations with people actually reaching out to me. And it kind of felt like when you first start and you have a really warm market and you start posting in the very beginning, and people are like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it was just new people asking me different questions, and 2 of them were guys as well. And I think there were around 6 probably new, just coming from lives, and not talking about plexus, splashing plexus, but just bringing value like on different topics, different things in my life, kind of trying to stay around my niche kind of thing, empowering women. And and then one of them I helped share right away, like within the first hour. He shared, so he's got 1, and hopefully he'll go faster at silver, hopefully soon. So, but yeah, that's what I would say. It's just doing something different that I felt uncomfortable doing. And then like last week, kind of the week got kind of crazy with graduations and an engagement party and stuff like that. And I didn't go live as much as I wanted to. So I vowed to myself, I've got to go live today because it just brought new conversations. So it was really, really exciting. So just got to step out of our comfort zone and do things different. Can't just keep doing the same old same thing.
I feel like you're saying that right to me because I need to hear that. Okay.
It's like some people read a post and some people don't read a post. And then having the caption of the live be something that's catchy. One that got a lot of attention was, I need a Diet Coke. That was the title, ... And people that have been watching me know I'm drinking this. I'm not drinking Diet Coke. So I'm sure they were like, wait, what? She drinks Diet Coke? I was like, yeah, that was my life. And tons of people, there were like 4 out of those 6 that related to that post, just talking about soda and how much, oh my God, I drink like 6 a day. What do you mean? You know, it just created conversation. So having that teaser title, you know, something like that to make them stop and listen.
It's so
It's
good.
good.
It's so good. And do you have to, let me ask you this question. Are you the kind of person that when you know you're going to go live, you have to be perfectly like made up, or are you willing to just hop on and do it no matter how you look?
No, I'll totally hop on. I mean,
Love it.
like at first when my friend challenged me, I'm like, great, I'm going to totally have to shower every day. So that's something I'm just letting go of. You know, I'm just letting go of it. It's people need to see what you're really like. And there's times when it's like, I didn't plan what I was going to talk about. So it would just come upon me. Like I would think of something throughout the day, something would hit me and be like, that's what I'm going to talk about today. You know, so kind of go with my gut or go with my feeling or kind of what's happening, or I'm talking to a team member and she sparks some kind of idea, you know. I mean, it's like when you're talking to somebody that sparks a post. Like today, my post was inspired by a conversation I was having with the sideline sister. She was talking about just so many doubts and things that she's had and struggled with, and she felt like she needed to have a supportive sponsor to do anything in this business. And I'm like, no, you don't. You just have to be willing to learn and dig in. So I don't know, that conversation just inspired my post today, but I'd rather actually go live and talk about it. So I did my post, and then later this afternoon, I think I'll actually go live and talk about that sort of thing. Like you don't have to have somebody to, you know, tell you what to do. You just have to be willing to learn and dig in, because there's so much information out there. You just have to be willing to get in and do it. I don't know. So I'm just kind of on fire about that topic today.
Tina, I actually sense a difference in you. Like I feel like you're speaking with authority, and I was picturing someone watching your lives, and I love that you're doing it on a non-plexus topic where you really do feel this confidence when you're talking about whatever you're sharing. And I pictured watching you and thinking, this woman really believes what she's talking about, and it makes me trust you. And then it makes me think I would trust her with other things too. Like the fact that you're coming from conviction and confidence. I don't know. Somebody said in the chat, I want to, you maybe read it. It said, even not made up Tina looks amazing. And then someone else said, there's a magnetic energy all around Tina. She's a hard worker, very consistent. You inspire me all the time. Aww.
Oh, Darlene, love you.
Oh, well, that's very, very, very helpful. We all should be going live. We're going to flood Facebook with lives about everything, and we don't need to have makeup on, and it's going to be fine. And then maybe you too could be on the leaderboard, just like Tina.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for sharing. Nan, I'm going to ask you, and then we can move on to tonight's event. Nan, how did you sign someone up?
Well, I'm very excited to share that I signed up my first stranger through Instagram and her husband. I have been working to build my network in Instagram. I have like 4,200 friends on Facebook, so I don't really focus on building there. So I've really been working hard on Instagram, and it's kind of been hard for me, you know, just kind of that connection with people that you don't already know kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I made this connection with this lady, and I've been talking to her, introduced Plexus to her after we had made connections. And she said to me, she said that she had just started trying something for a friend. And I'm like, okay. And so she said, if it doesn't work out, I'll try yours. So I put her on my ticker to follow up later. And so for a few months, I was just connecting with her, not mentioning Plexus, but just hope you're having a good day, you know, stuff, simple stuff like that. And then I had her for my reminder coming up, but something just said, do it today. And I believe it was the Lord, because I've been praying. And I reached out to her, and long story short, she signed up and her husband signed up. And about 2 days in, she sent me this incredible, really message that she's just on fire. And she's a dance teacher. And so she's got a great connection for the active that people want it. So it's going to be good, I think. So I'm really thankful for answered prayers and proud of myself. My first one.
I literally have had one person in almost 9 years, a stranger on Instagram. So I am massively impressed with you. I think it's one of the trickiest things ever. And guys, I just feel like I have to say this. If you're on here and you don't have, if for you, this is not a connection to faith, that doesn't mean you're not going to be great at this business. But I have to say this because I do connect very much the things that are laid before me to faith. And I've heard it now over and over again. Lori sharing about going into a grocery store and someone was placed in her path. And Nan sharing about someone placed in her path. And everyone that's sharing, I have to believe that when we are walking in this and committing it and we are praying for our business, we are channeling all of our great energy into doing these things that are set before us. And my friend Amanda, we had dinner the other night. She's gone through a really hard time. She's gone through a really hard divorce. And she said, I've just learned to listen to my gut because I know that that's the spirit inside of me. And I hear you women saying that. Tina's like, I don't want to go live, but I think this is what I'm supposed to do. And now look what's happening. So I'm going to encourage every one of you, don't wait to ask someone else what they think. Listen and ask yourself. So whatever it is, if you want to go live about something, if you want to post about something, if you think you should say something to someone in the grocery store who's offering you cupcakes, ask yourself, should I do it? And then do whatever that feeling is. Don't listen to the fear, listen to the inside, the spirit. I'm super massively inspired right now. I don't even know what I'm going to do with this inspiration. I can't stand it. So let's follow up, make sure that we've done all of our invites for tonight's event, especially people that you've already talked to about it. Just remind them and say, tonight, we're going to hear some stories about things that gut health can help with. I'll remind you 10 minutes before it starts. Does that sound good? And you have to actually do that because I like to just remind people. If anyone knows like crazy life like I have, I will have it on my calendar and know about it and still somehow forget about it because it's like so much going on. So you want to make sure that you're offering that concierge service to them. And then let me tell you what's going to happen. So I have 3 gals that are going to share. One of them is going to share specifically about her struggle with energy and what products she used, what she felt from those products. I'm going to share specifically products that we have that help with energy. And then she's going to share how she just hit Emerald. So we're going to kind of get both like the business and the products. Then we have a gal that's sharing about how she had the worst digestive issues to the point where she could never leave the house. And she had 2 kids. This I think will be really relevant because although it's messy, it's actually very common. So she's going to share about that. And she also just hit Emerald. So we're going to go through the products in the business. And then we have a girl that just fast start gold. She just graduated from college. She has been watching her friend for 5 years and finally decided to start the products. She has, I think it's ulcerative colitis, or it could be diverticulitis. She has an itis, and we'll figure out how we can say that compliantly, but she's going to share. And this is going to be such a great tool because whenever someone tells me something they struggle with, I'm going to show on the screen products in our product line that actually help with that. So if you hear anybody in any of those stories, Latoya was someone that did the business 8 years ago and quit, came back. So maybe this is good for someone that quit and came back. Victoria is someone that's younger, has younger kids, and is able to do this from home. And then Devin is a student that's just graduated that has a teenage son. So think of people that you know that might fit into that profile, and let's work on doing some follow-up for it. All right. So remember we talked about a focus on active and the reticular activating system in your brain. And that's the thing that when you buy a white car, you see white cars everywhere. That RAS is what you're wanting to activate in the people watching your post. So if it's like every time they see everywhere they go, it's like active, 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 it actually becomes something that they're thinking, maybe I want to try that. So your job is to really inundate them with that in a way that's creative and fun and relevant. So if you guys have any post, pictures, graphics, anything about active that you think is worthwhile or valuable, we put it in the Power Hour chat. So we all kind of have that resource of pictures. Another thing is what Tina shared too, go live. Go live and make your active and talk about it. I had a girl come on, super strong with me. She's like, I'm sorry, but I tried active and it's nothing like Red Bull. And I said to her, I understand that it doesn't feel like Red Bull, but you will not be addicted to this. And I said, is one Red Bull enough for you anymore? She goes, no, I have to drink 2. I said, well, prepare yourself. Eventually it's going to be 3 and then 4. And I said, you're actually creating for yourself a really bad cycle. She said, why? Well, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist, but I went and looked it up. What is in Red Bull that makes you so addicted? And I made sure I read it. And I came back to her and I said, my understanding is that the taurine in it actually creates that addiction and it's bad for your heart and it can make you severely dehydrated. So maybe she's thinking, okay, this active isn't going to make me feel like, I guess, buzzed. I don't know. I've never had a Red Bull, nor do I care to have one. I feel like they told me there's something disgusting in it. Anyways, it doesn't matter. The point is, you guys do the work to create belief in your audience about this product, because if they can get a bag for free, you've got 2 amazing things happening. They're getting the product that they're now realizing they need, and it's free when they buy 3 other products. It's genius, really, actually. All right. So one other thing, as you're working on that active, and I want you guys really, really filling your feed with that. We have basically a little over a week. I want you to go deep diving into your pictures, go in like your old Facebook albums and find the most heinously hideous picture of you, one that you wanted no one to ever see and you've considered burning. And I want you to make a post that basically says something like, this is what gut health looks like. Or you could even be funny. I think funny's funny, but you could say something like, this is what gut health and proper hair coloring, or this is what gut health and Botox look like. I don't know, whatever you want to say. The point is, when people, I needed to see this because sometimes I'm like, what are the products doing for me? And I have to go back and I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can see it. And it's not just the horrible bangs. It's like so much more than that. So go find an embarrassing picture that you wish you could burn and make go away. But instead, what you're going to do is make a post about, this is what taking clean products does for you, or this is what focusing on blood sugar does for you. Or you could say, this is what focusing on big and capitalized BIG things does for you. And that's actually curiosity branding, because then someone says, well, what are big things? And then that starts a conversation of, well, that's blood sugar, inflammation, and gut health, which you can have that conversation in private message without worrying about compliance. So, by the way, did I tell you my compliance story? Okay, I think I will. I think I said this, but I'm going to tell you really quick. I was sitting in the room with all these ladies at our retreat with Suzanne Clinton, my upline, and everyone was talking about getting contacted by compliance, all of them. And I was like, well, I have never been contacted by compliance. That's never happened to me. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, either I'm killing it or they're not looking at my post, or maybe I'm just not posting. And no sooner do I say this than I go to bed, roll over in the morning, pick up my phone, and I have a text message from compliance about a YouTube video. And that poor lady, she ends up calling me. I said, did you watch that whole hour training? She goes, yeah. I said, that was probably a lot of fun for you. And she like highlighted every word that was not allowed to be said. And I'm sitting here thinking how I'm talking on this, and I bet she's watching every single one of our power hours. So if the lady from compliance is watching this, I just wanted to say hi. All right. So We appreciate you. We do, but we don't. But anyhow, so if you will work on your old versus new picture and your active graphics and postings. Sorry, I see something in the chat. Steph, if you're still on, will you tell us about the monster drinks and the acid in them?
Hey, absolutely. So I have a friend. I live near La Crosse, Wisconsin. There's a big bottling company there. And I had a friend come to one of our sip and sees back in the day. And he said, hey, do you guys know that I work on the lines of the Monster energy drinks? And we have to literally replace the lines that feed the Monster into the cans every 6 months because the acid in the Monster degrades those lines so.
Uh-oh, I think you just froze. Okay, so go all the way with that. Someone's been drinking monster drinks for a year. What is the likelihood that that acid's affecting their body? And here's the thing, I do unhealthy things too. Oh, you're back.
Okay.
I was just saying, imagine the likelihood of someone drinking that drink for 6 months or a year and what it's doing to them. And I eat unhealthy things and I drink unhealthy things, but I'm not addicted to them. Like sometimes I'm gonna have a little something, something, and then that's it. And then I can wait another month and try it again or whatever. You cannot do that with monster drinks. You cannot do that with Red Bull. It is designed, it's actually brilliant business. It's designed, just like cigarettes, to make you have a need, not a want, a need. Well, I feel like that is so wrong on so many levels because college kids are getting massively addicted to them. So why not share this? That was such a good thing to share, Steph. I can't believe that. Did he try the active or was it too soon? Do we not have it then? I think she might be frozen. It's okay. I'm going to go back to the chat and I'm going to finish working if she gets back.
I know you've passed this, but can I just say one thing that has encouraged me? The last 3 people that I signed up this month, I signed them up last week, I think. They've all been for me just reaching out to the people that are friends of friends. Last month, I did that every single day. I did at least 3 to 5 people every single day that were friends of friends. And this month, 3 of those have already signed up. So I thought, why have I been so afraid? So that's just trying to encourage you to reach out to friends of friends.
Okay, go deeper. Like, tell me, give me the how. Like, how do you go to someone and not look weird?
Well, they were people that we had 20 some people in common that we knew, but for some reason our paths maybe had not crossed, or maybe they had and we just didn't realize it. People from college that I'm like, okay, we went to the same college. We know 25 of the same people. How do we not know each other? And I even asked that in a message and said, how do we not know each other? And she's like, well, when did you graduate? And we graduated 2 years apart. And I was like, well, maybe we crossed paths and we didn't even know it. Want to be friends and we can catch up on things that we did in college, or what, blah, blah, blah. Different kinds of conversations with different people. And so, yeah, that's.
Well, you have the gift of conversation for sure. And when you just said that, I thought I could do that. So I would definitely train your team in what you're doing, that particular method, because you said that. And then I thought, oh, I could never do that. I don't know if I could message a friend of a friend because I don't know what to say. But then that was easy and perfect. So I see green in your future.
Tina, how long did you build relationship before bringing up Plexus?
Actually, I just was commenting. I made it a point to comment on their posts and message them like once a week. And then they sent me a message and said, what's this pink drink?
Okay, so that right there is exactly how I built my entire business. I said to myself, if I'm really, really good at loving people, doing relationship, I'll post in such a way that they end up asking me about it. So when people were talking about doing the reach outs, I was always like, what do you mean your reach outs? Like, you literally message people about Plexus? And I've never had to do that. Now, 9 years in, almost 9 years in, I am having to do more and more and more reach outs. But all that to say, that right there is the best way to get people into Plexus, is by being a great friend, a great connector, and then they ask you about it because you posted, like you decorated your store, you put your advertising out in such a way that it causes them to ask. Point taken. Taking notes here. Okay, let's wrap it up and then I'll see you guys tonight at 7:30 and it should be about 20 minutes. And if not, I'll see you guys on Wednesday.